All right, next we are going to add first person controller to the player so that we can navigate player using keyboard and mouse. Let's stop the game and go to scene and uh, select player in the hierarchy. And I'm going to add RigidBody to player. And I'm going to expand constraint. I'm going to freeze rotation around X, Y, and Z axis so that this capsule or player doesn't topple. Now I'm going to add first person controller. For that, go to assets and expand starter assets. Click on first person controller, click scripts, and this is the script that has code uh, to apply navigation for the first person controller. So we'll go back to player, click on the player in hierarchy, and drag and drop first person script in the inspector panel. So that's going to add a couple of components. You see it has added character controller, it has added player input, and the first person controller here. So there we need to set some properties now. So here, Cinemachine camera, uh, we need to set this to the root of our camera. So again, go to, yeah. So drag and drop camera root onto Cinemachine camera field here. And then go to main camera and add Cinemachine component. Cinemachine Brain. Let's go back to the player and we need to set a few more properties here. Uh, let's go to first person controller and here we'll set the ground layers to the ground object. So this is the layer it is going to use to check if the player is grounded. Any object on the ground layer will be used to check if it collides with the player, and in which case player will be considered as grounded. Now, there is another property we need to set for the player input, which is going to control the navigation. So go to the player input section of the player property inspector and click on this icon for actions and select the starter asset action. So this has the configuration to control player movement. So, but before going into that, let's see what we have got so far and run the game. So now if I am pressing up arrow button, okay, looks like there is an error. Okay, so this is the error that we are getting, that underscore input is not set. If we go check the references, you see that it is assigned here and it is expecting starter assets input. And I think we haven't added that to player. Yes, that is the reason. So go to project and go to Assets, Starter Assets, Input System, and this is the script that needs to be added to player. So I'm going to add that. And now try. Okay, now the navigation is working. So I'm pressing up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow, and if I move the mouse, it is uh, controlling the camera movement up and down and sideways. So I'm going to change the navigation. I'm going to change the configuration, navigation configuration, so that I could turn the player by pressing left arrow and right arrow and not necessarily walk sideways. And also I'm going to disable movement off camera using mouse.